Okay, imagine you're hanging out with me, and we're just chatting about this super interesting plant that helps cuts and scrapes heal way faster. It's called Binahong. You might have seen it. It's a vine with pretty heart-shaped leaves, kind of common in gardens, especially in places like Southeast Asia and China. People have used it for ages in traditional medicine, like for tummy troubles or boosting energy. But one of its absolute superstar talents? Speeding up wound healing. Seriously, it's like nature's little Band-Aid booster. Let me break down why and how it works in a way that makes sense. So, picture this, you get a cut. Ouch, right? Your body immediately kicks into gear with this amazing, complex repair process. It's like a tiny construction site opening up right on your skin. First, you've got the cleanup crew, inflammation. Blood vessels get leaky to let special cells rush in. These cells fight off any germs that might have snuck in and start clearing away the damaged bits. It gets a bit red, swollen, and maybe warm. That's this phase in action. Next comes the rebuilding phase. This is where your body makes new tissue to fill the gap. Think of cells called fibroblasts moving in like carpenters. They lay down a framework made mostly of collagen. That's like the scaffolding for a new building. At the same time, tiny new blood vessels start growing into the area to bring oxygen and nutrients, super important for the healing crew to do their job. Finally, you get the remodeling phase. That scaffolding gets strengthened and organized, and the skin on top tightens up, maybe leaving a scar. The whole thing is incredible, but sometimes it can be slow or get stuck, especially if there's infection, poor blood flow, or other health issues. That's where something like Binahong can step in and give the whole process a helpful nudge. Now, what's actually in Binahong leaves that makes them so good for this? Scientists have peeked inside and found a bunch of natural compounds that act like little healing helpers. The main stars seem to be things called saponins and flavonoids. These aren't scary chemicals. Think of them more like the plant's own special toolkit. Saponins have this cool soapy property, that's actually where the name comes from, which might help with cleaning the wound gently. More importantly, they seem to tell your body to send more of those helpful repair cells to the wound site faster. Flavonoids are powerful antioxidants. Imagine them as little shields. When you get hurt, there's a burst of damaging molecules called free radicals, like little sparks flying at the construction site. Flavonoids swoop in and neutralize those sparks, protecting the new, delicate cells trying to rebuild. They also help calm down excessive inflammation. Too much inflammation is like the cleanup crew causing a riot instead of just cleaning up. It can actually damage the new tissue trying to form. Flavonoids help get things back under control. Binahong leaves also contain other useful stuff like tannins, which can help shrink tissues slightly and form a protective layer, mucilage, a soothing, gel-like substance, and various vitamins and minerals that feed the healing process. So, how do these leaf power compounds actually translate into faster healing? Let's follow the wound healing stages again, this time with Binahong on the team. Right after the injury, during that inflammation phase, Binahong's flavonoids jump in to manage the inflammation. They don't stop the necessary cleanup, they just prevent it from going overboard and becoming destructive. It's like calming the cleanup crew down so they work efficiently without wrecking the place. The saponins might also help attract more of the initial infection-fighting cells to the site quicker. As we move into the crucial rebuilding phase, this is where Binahong really shines. Those saponins act like cheerleaders for the fibroblasts, the collagen carpenters. They seem to signal these cells to multiply faster and get to work laying down that collagen framework more vigorously. More collagen, laid down quicker, means the wound fills in faster. At the same time, Binahong appears to boost the growth of those tiny new blood vessels, angiogenesis. This is huge. More blood vessels mean more oxygen and vital nutrients are delivered right to the construction zone. Think of it as opening up extra supply lines to the building site. The workers, cells, have everything they need immediately, so they can work much faster and more effectively. The antioxidants keep protecting these new, busy cells from damage, ensuring the rebuilding stays on track. Because of all this, better collagen production, better blood supply, protected cells, the wound closes up noticeably quicker. You see the gap shrinking faster. Then, as things move into the final remodeling phase, the foundation is stronger and laid down better from the get-go, often leading to a neater, stronger scar over time. Using Binahong consistently seems to help the whole process flow more smoothly from start to finish, reducing the overall healing time significantly compared to letting nature take its course alone. How do people actually use Binahong for wounds? It's pretty straightforward, which is great. The most common traditional way is to make a poultice. You take fresh Binahong leaves, make sure they're clean, maybe bruise them a bit with your fingers or a spoon to help release the juices, and then apply them directly onto the cleaned wound. You can hold them there or gently bandage them on. Some people lightly steam or boil the leaves first to soften them, then apply while warm, but not hot. The idea is to get those healing compounds, the saponins, flavonoids, tannins, directly in contact with the wound site. You'd usually change this poultice a couple of times a day. Another way is to make a concentrated decoction, basically a strong tea. You simmer a bunch of leaves in water for 15 to 20 minutes, let it cool completely, and then use this liquid to gently wash or soak the wound. This is a good option, especially for cleaning or for wounds that might be a bit messy for a leaf poultice. You might also find Binahong extract in some ointments or creams nowadays, which can be convenient. While some traditional practices involve eating the leaves for internal healing support, the direct topical application, on the skin, is generally the go-to method for speeding up external wound healing. Now, let's talk about the real-world results. What do people actually see? Many folks who've used Binahong report that wounds just seem to dry up and start closing much faster. You know how sometimes a scrape seems to just sit there, weepy and open, for days? With Binahong poultices, people often notice that phase is shorter. The wound bed starts looking healthier, pink and growing new tissue, sooner. There's often less noticeable swelling and redness around the wound too, thanks to those inflammation-taming flavonoids. Because the repair process is kicked into higher gear early on, the overall time it takes for the wound to fully close and form a solid scab or new skin is significantly reduced. This isn't just anecdotes either. There have been actual scientific studies, done in labs on cells and on animals like rats, that back this up. These studies consistently show that wounds treated with Binahong extract close faster than untreated ones. They measure it. They look at the wound size shrinking day by day, and the Binahong groups always show a significant speed up. They also look under the microscope and see exactly what we talked about, more collagen fibers being laid down, more new blood vessels forming, and more fibroblasts busy at work in the wounds treated with Binahong. This lab evidence really helps confirm what traditional medicine has known for generations. Of course, we need to be smart and safe about this. Binahong isn't magic, and it's not a replacement for proper medical care. especially for serious wounds. If you have a deep cut, a puncture wound, something caused by a dirty object, a burn covering a large area, or a wound that looks infected, super red, hot, painful, oozing pus, you absolutely must see a doctor first. Get stitches if needed. Get antibiotics if there's infection. Modern medicine is crucial for serious injuries. Think of Binahong as a fantastic helper for those smaller, everyday wounds. Scraped knees, small cuts, maybe blisters, or helping surgical incisions heal better after the doctor has done their part. It's also important to always clean the wound thoroughly with mild soap and water before applying Binahong. You don't want to trap dirt or germs under the leaves. While allergic reactions seem rare, it's always wise to do a patch test first. Crush a tiny bit of leaf and put it on a small area of unbroken skin on your arm. Wait 24 hours to see if there's any redness or itching before putting it on a wound. If you experience any irritation at the wound site, stop using it. And, as with anything, if you're pregnant, breastfeeding, or taking other medications, it's a good idea to chat with your doctor before using Binahong, even topically, just to be extra safe. So, wrapping it all up, why is Binahong so interesting for wound healing? It boils down to its unique natural chemistry. Those saponins and flavonoids work with your body's own incredible healing mechanisms. They don't force anything unnatural, they just optimize the process. They help control the initial chaos of inflammation, they supercharge the construction crew building new tissue, collagen, they ensure the site gets a fantastic blood supply full of nutrients and oxygen, and they protect the delicate new cells from damage. It's like giving your body's internal repair team the best possible tools, materials, and working conditions. The result? The construction project finishes faster and often with better quality. It's a beautiful example of how traditional plant wisdom, passed down through generations, is now being understood and validated by modern science. Next time you see that heart-leafed vine growing somewhere, you'll know it's not just a pretty plant, it's nature's own little first aid kit, ready to help your skin bounce back quicker. Pretty cool, right? Just remember to use it wisely and for the right kind of boo-boos.